welcome to another episode of the Car Girls Show. I am here with my co-host, Janice Showers, owner of the Car Girls, and I am Jessie Kessel, owner of Machete Marketing, and we are really excited today to introduce you to Amanda Gordon, who is the owner of GoJo Auto.
GoJo!
Located in Colorado. So we actually originally met Amanda when we went to Florida for the Women in Automotive Conference, and let me tell you, when she walks into a room, you notice. Okay,
this girl, dynamo.
She is just so badass.
Yeah, we fell right in love with her.
We did, and she's super easy to talk to. She's full of knowledge, and so today we really want to pick her brain about being an owner of a dealership.
Yeah, and hear a little bit, Amanda, we really want to hear a little bit more about your story because it's an amazing story.
Yeah, so Amanda, tell us how you got started.
So first of all, good morning, everybody watching, listening. Hey there. So how I got started, it was about 20 years ago. I'm not going to reveal my age and say what year it was, but it was about 20 years ago. I was working at the Gap, which is a retail store here in the States. And it was like all the craze, and my dream was to become a regional manager for the Gap. There was this young lady that came into my store, and she instantly said, "Don't try to fit me in any of your darn Gap denim. I'm not wearing that stuff. Get out of here. Don't even try it." It took me 2 hours. She left with 3 pairs of jeans, some coats, some blouses, and she said, "You need to come work with me." And I was like, "Well, that's odd, but what do you do?" And she said, "I work for Honda." I had just moved from California to Colorado, and I knew a lot about Hondas. There were a lot of Honda clubs. My boyfriend drove a Honda, so I was familiar with the different trim levels, and I was like, well, I like Hondas. And I was footloose and fancy free. That was all I really needed. I was like, well, I like Hondas. What have I got to lose? So I went, I met her at the Honda store. Her particular store had Honda and Hyundai. Met the general manager. We vibed. I was hired in a pool of 10. I got that first paycheck after selling 8 cars my first month. Wow. And I was like, bye Gap. I was going to school at the time. I was like, bye school, bye Gap. I'm a car girl. And as they say, the rest is history. I worked my way. Within a year, I was a finance manager. I was a sales manager. And then I just worked my way up from there. And then I got into the independent side, used cars. And I really fell in love with the used car segment, which I never would have imagined, honestly, because, when you think of used car salespeople, you think of, Cadillac Man and the raunchy suit and smoking cigars.
Right.
Just icky, right? Just a real a-hole. And so I never thought of being in used cars, but it wasn't the cars themselves that gave me fulfillment. It was the customers. The customers really genuinely needed help. And there was a need, and flash forward, here I am, a used car dealer owner. So that's a snippet of my story. There's a lot in between, but that's the gist of it.
Yeah, so you're the owner of GoJo Auto.
Yep,
Tell us
GoJo
a little bit about your store.
What was that?
Tell us a little bit about your store.
So first and foremost, GoJo, G-O, my last name is Gordon, and then J-O, my mother's last name is Johnson. So she's the Joe to my Go. That's where the name came from. So, and upon Googling the name, she came up with it. I wanted it to be Amanda's Amazing Auto Emporium Warehouse.
Okay.
Not pretentious at all. And she's like, yeah, how about no? Let's shorten that. She's like, how about GoJo? And, like any mother with their infinite wisdom, I was like, wow. And upon Googling it, go, the word go itself is like the top 3 most Googled words. So we come up really high in the search organically already, without any SEO or anything. So it was like, wow, Mom, okay. And she's not even techie, and she had this thing figured out. So that's how GoJo came along. And so in November 24th, 2018, well, let me flash forward a little bit prior to August, I was building a used car dealership. They were becoming very successful. It was the third time I had done that for a group of individuals who were starting from grassroots, ground up, needed infrastructure, needed banks, needed lenders, vendors, the whole 9 that it takes to build a dealership, inventory sources. So I had put all of that together. And by this point, I had become privy to the books. I was seeing how much people were making, and I was in essence, doing all of the work. So I was on a jog, and August of last year, I swear it was like lightning. I had a white light moment where it was like, it's your time. You need to do this. There's nobody out there doing it that looks like you, as far as women, as far as minority women. And it's your time. You need to be a voice. You're ready. And the next week, I put in my application to become a dealer. And November 24th, I became the first African-American woman in the state of Colorado to become a licensed dealer. So I'm the first Black woman in Colorado to be a car dealer.
That's amazing.
That just
Yeah, it was
Get a like
bittersweet.
for that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was super bittersweet because, you know, as here in the States, we have some turmoil. It's definitely not how it used to be. We have come a long way as a country when it comes to that. But you know, it really hit me like, wow, we still have a ways to go. And I kind of felt like, oh, wow, I've got some weight to carry now. So now I have to succeed. This is not a game. It's not a trial and error. Like, I have to be successful so that I can bring other women up behind me to do this and to grow our dynamic, our culture within the automotive space.
I'm so glad that you said that, because it really does take, you know, a massive effort from the community to kind of let the next generation come up, and you become the example, right? Just as when we were coming up, you know, a lot of our examples helped us and
And
mentored
good
us.
for you, Amanda. I
Yeah.
feel that pressure a little bit myself with the car girls,
Yeah.
and I'm proud to have paved the way. And I think you're doing the exact same thing, but with being a dealer, that's amazing. I wish I had the guts to go with my own dealership.
It's so funny because for me, this is a little secret. It never gets old when people, you know, think that I'm a salesperson or the secretary within the dealership, and I tell them I'm the owner. That look on their face will never get old.
Priceless.
Priceless. Just, you need to
Priceless.
frame those.
I know. They used to say to me, can I speak to a salesman? I'd say, well, a saleswoman do.
Exactly. I used to do that on the sales floor all the time. Yeah, I need a salesman. Well, how about a sales lady? Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. And it's 2000, going on 2020. It's just.
It's
I know,
shocking
it
that
really
we are still there. So
Yeah.
actually, one of the questions that we had for you, Amanda, is we wanted to know what some of your challenges have been. And I think let's stay with opening the dealership and opening the store. What would you say a couple of your big challenges have been?
Some of my challenges, I'm in a unique situation because I had done it 3 times prior to, just with someone else's money, basically. And when I was doing consulting, if that's what we'll call it for this scenario, when I was doing consulting, I had built these dealerships from the ground up, so I knew the process. I just didn't do it for myself. So when it came time to do it my own, I wanted to make sure that I knew what the heck I was doing. And by any means, I do not know everything, okay? Every day is a journey. I get shocked, surprised, and taken aback. Every day there's a curveball. So I don't know it all, but I felt like I knew enough to be successful getting started. But I will tell you this. Even though I had all of that experience, there's running a business. I read a quote, you know, it's one thing to be a good baker. It's another thing to run a successful bakery. And that's what I found really true about the car business. Like, I am probably the best salesperson that I know. And that's male, female, cultural, whatever. But running the business, taxes, accounting, floor plans, cash flow, payroll. I had to become financially savvy very quickly in order to make sure that my business didn't suffer. Even though we're selling, is the money being managed correctly? Are taxes being paid on time? Are sales taxes being collected correctly? Is my payroll getting in? Is my workman's comp being paid? Is my insurance enough to cover the inventory that I have? We had a break-in on one of our lovely Subarus. How does that work? So it's like the little things that you're not prepared for. You think, oh, just sell and everything will be fine. Selling a car, that's just the beginning.
That's
like that is literally the easiest part of this job. Selling the car has been the easiest part. It's acquiring the car from auction, bidding against 1,200 different dealers, that are trying to accomplish the same thing you are: buy low, sell high, right? So it was like, oh, okay, yeah, we got this. And so, I mean, the challenges are vast, but they're just that. They're challenges.
Yeah.
They're not setbacks. They're not, oh, it's time to quit because I can't figure it out. It's just a challenge to figure out, how do I do this better? And some things like acquiring the inventory. It's made me extremely resourceful in finding alternatives on where to get my cars valuable merchandise at a fair price. Lending sources. A lot of banks won't touch dealers that haven't been in business for 2 years or more. Well, I'm going on month 8 and I have 5 credit unions in my back pocket because I had to go in there and fight and let them know that, hey, my business is new, but I'm not. And you should back me and you should support me because I'm not going anywhere.
Love it.
And so,
Love it.
yeah,
Good
so,
for
so
you.
just getting resourceful and not taking no for an answer. Like this is
Yeah.
the car business for me is my life. I eat, breathe, and poop this stuff. It's not my job. It's not my career path. This is my life. So when I'm able to construe that to people who normally wouldn't take a chance on a new dealership, it goes a lot further than, oh, hey, I'm going to have this amount of profit. I don't even look at profits. I look at how many families are we helping this month? How many cars are we getting on the road? How many women are we able to hire to expand our growth? How many women are we able to train and grow the female workforce? Like, that's how I look at my business growth.
And Amanda, I understand that. Is it your whole sales team that's female?
All of them, every last one.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And how did you find them and train them? Like, where do they come from? Where do you get so
By
many
the
female?
grace of God, I promise you, I couldn't have planned it this way.
Like attracts like, maybe.
So one came to me from my title clerk. She was at a dealership that wasn't treating her the way she felt she needed to be treated, wasn't valuing her. And I was able to hire her. She's my day one, Alex. She's been with me since January 11th, and we opened January 1st. And she had a finance background and a sales background, so she's really helping me. Her niche is more on the finance side, doing the legal documents and
Right,
getting
and-
deals funded and all of that.
And
then,
title clerk, AKA for our Canadian dealers, is your licensing coordinator.
oh, thank you. Thank you. Yep. And my title clerk also sells. She's been in the business 20 years, and I've known her for eons. She never hung her license with any dealers in the 10 years that she's been a title clerk. And as soon as I opened, she said, I want to hang my license with you.
Awesome.
So that was huge. She really was my first licensed, but she's more of a broker where she'll just bring us business. She more sticks to title clerking or licensing, if you will. And Cammie, she also came to me by osmosis because I was putting it into the universe. I really need a salesperson, but I don't particularly want someone who's been in the car business. I want someone I can train, but I want them to be a people person. I want them to be bubbly. I want them to be an extension of me, in essence. And Cammie worked for a really big restaurant group out here called the View House. And we had known each other for some years. And she said, I'm really looking for a career change. And just like that, now she's selling her butt off for GoJo. And then we've got one other lady who's more of a broker also. And yeah, it really just happened that way. I think because the female vibe that we kind of put out there is GoJo really attracts the female salesperson, where at other places they might be intimidated or not feel that they would be valued or trained correctly. And that's one thing I really focus on, because if my ladies ever leave GoJo and say they go to an Auto Nation or a Larry H. Miller, I want them to be able to say, I got trained at GoJo, and that means something.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
You know what? I think a better question might be for you, Amanda, is what have been the rewards? What are you finding rewarding rather than challenging?
Gosh,
Because
I have purpose. It's like I found it.
I can
have
feel
never
that from you.
I have never felt more fulfilled. And when I wake up in the morning, I get to do this. I don't have to do this. I get to do this for my community, for my staff, for other women out there confused. And I'm not a spring chicken. It was very late in my career that I decided that I needed to become an owner and really get dialed in on promoting women in automotive, on being a successful woman in automotive, not just getting a paycheck, but really changing the dialogue of what this industry can do for us women, because it's such a great industry.
It is.
And I don't think we look at it as a resource or as an option because it has such negative connotation behind it. So to be able to spread that gospel and to be a visual representation of it, right? Like you ladies know, I am so out there on social, letting people know that this is a great industry and it's authentic. I mean, it's not, I can't fake it. My forehead won't let me. I talk with my face. So if it was nasty, you guys would know.
I couldn't agree more, 100%. I never understood why more women didn't sell cars, and that's always been my mission. So I totally get where you're coming from, Amanda, and good for you. Good for you for jumping in there and doing it and making it happen.
And I think I remember on Facebook you posted something about being an overnight success and how people might think, look at you and think that it just happened, but they don't know you've got 20 years behind you. You've been doing Facebook Live for how long now? Like a few years?
So I've been on Facebook, believe it or not, for, I just saw my oldest post for 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah, and it just started to boom about a year ago, to where I can quantify it and I can monetize it and say, okay, Facebook is making me this amount of money.
See? So it does
awesome.
work, but
and you're merchandising your vehicles on Facebook. I've seen a couple of your Facebook posts and I love them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
vehicles,
you can attribute
our customers.
To selling cars directly on Facebook.
Yeah. I have a fun statistic because I source, of course, everywhere where our clients come from, and 85% of our business is from Facebook.
Wow.
85%.
85%. And get this, I do not pay for Facebook. It's all organic. It's all personal generated.
And so what are people doing? Are they just sending you like a message through Messenger? Are they calling in? How do you?
Yep, direct messenger, or it'll direct them to the website. And when I ask them, oh, hey, how'd you find out about us? They'll say, oh, I saw this and that on Facebook, or I saw your video. I get that a lot. I saw your video on
Organic
Facebook.
is amazing. What other advertising vehicles are you using? What else is working for you?
So we use your traditional sites like Car Gurus, Auto Trader, TrueCar. Craigslist is big. So those are some I pay for. And then we actually also use a company called Owner Connect, who provides our training, kind of our BDC training. And then they also do our phone calls on the back end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're supported by some vendors, which
we are.
Nice.
We are. We have a lot of vendor support. But I do all of the Facebook personally because I was the one who originated it, and I think it's important for our customer base to see me, to know that I am still here, and I am deeply involved in the process and everything that's involved with GoJo Auto, because that's important to clients when they come in and they see me.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
Yeah. For sure. We really support you, Amanda. We wish you
100%.
all the very best.
Thank you so much.
We know that you're going to become more and more successful every year. And we really thank you for sharing your story with us today.
Yes, thank you. And you're an inspiration to women in automotive, truly. So
yeah, so let that be, a lesson for everyone who's in the automotive industry, male or female. You have a dream, you have the ambition. You can make it happen no matter where you are. If you want to connect with Amanda, we're going to put her information below. And that wraps up the show for today. So
thank you so much, Amanda.
Catch you guys on another
Thank you, ladies.
Of the Car Girl Show. Thanks, Amanda. Take care.
I'll be looking forward to getting my shirt, too. I'll wear it next time.
Car Girls.
Thanks, Amanda.
Thanks for watching another episode of the Car Girls Show. Now, we have a big announcement to make. We're so excited to announce our new venture, and that's the Triple Threat Academy. We're calling it T3 for short, and it's coming soon.
I am so excited to be putting this on with Janice. Combined, we have over 50 years of experience, both in retail, marketing, branding, social media. And so this course is actually going to cover the best of BDC, the tactics and strategies that nobody tells you about in social media and marketing. It's going to be for 2 days. What are those dates?
It's October 2nd and 3rd, coming this fall.
That's right. And we want branding ambassadors, marketing coordinators and managers, internet managers,
BDC personnel.
BDC personnel, anyone that is going to really benefit from both marketing and business development. Really today, you don't have a choice. These two things now go together. And the more you understand how they fit together, the more successful you will be in your career path as well as your dealership. So
We are seeing a lot of dealerships are hiring a marketing personnel, and we want to help these people. We want to help the staff sell more cars, bring in more traffic, monetize and merchandise your dealership better online. And we have some secrets for them. We have some tips and tricks, and I'm actually going to reveal a few of my BDC secrets that normally I keep internally in the Car Girls, but I am going to send some home.
awesome. I cannot wait. October 2nd and 3rd. We do have limited spacing. That's just a reality of, the center will
Yeah,
be
there's
at.
only so many seats. It will be taking place in Aurora at the Car Girls head offices.
Yeah, so make sure that you go to the link below. There's going to be more information. We're also going to be qualifying people because there are limited spaces. So just fill out the form, and then we'll have somebody contact you and take it from there. So we really hope to see you guys there. And until then,
Yeah,
keep watching the Car Girl Show.
thank you.